allowed the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó jòjòjò.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó jòjòjò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us from. It is Maiyegun live.
Àṣírí ọ̀tẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o.
As you are joining us, please share the broadcast to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun is live. If you are watching this live, this one is live. I'm also sharing the broadcast as we speak. Please do the same. Read the caption of this broadcast, the description as well. I actually implore you to please read the description. That tells you more about what you are about to watch. Shaibu out. Marvelous in. Edo political brouhaha reached its crescendo today when the longtime ally, the two supposed, proteges of Oshiomhole, Obaseki and Shaibu parted ways, we heard, politically months back. However, it all came to head today when Shaibu was removed just few months to the end of his tenure as a deputy governor in Edo. Also, the notorious kidnapper Wadum returned back to his people's warm embrace. He received a heroic welcome after spending 5 years in jail for kidnapping. Emefiele to EFCC detention is part of the gist. Motide. So, good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you. And thanks so much for joining me again. I haven't read the description of this broadcast. The header, which is the topic, out there as well. So thank you, and then sharing that too. So I want to sort of start by sort of lightening our mood or lightening us up a little bit, light up the room. There is this video that made it to the internet just last night and today, and it's been so trending because someone who has probably a little bit knowledge of the Yorubas and the Yorubas race was invited to the Entrepreneurs Summit, I believe, in Ondo, where they were talking, and he had the chance to explain the Yoruba anthem to the Yorubas in audience. I don't know if you have seen it. I'm going to share that with you. Let's start from there, okay? Because it's something I kind of feel like you need to see, okay? And then I'll come back to the rest. Let's go to that place.
And I will tell you that with this that I'm doing now, it was a dream for me, and now I'm making it come true. I will thank for the invitation to Dr. Sumi Smart. Thank you for this opportunity. Gómìnà wa. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ farabalẹ̀. Gómìnà wa ń bí farabalẹ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Bàbá wa, ọ̀gá wa, olórí wa. Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa orin ìpínlẹ̀ wa, ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ká ní òye sí nípa àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà ńbẹ̀. Ó sọ pé iṣẹ́ wà fún ilẹ̀ wa. Iṣẹ́, work. Iṣẹ́, responsibility. Iṣẹ́, duty. Fún ilẹ̀ wa, for our land, for our soil. Our responsibility for our land. Our duty for our soil. Fún ilẹ̀ ìbí wa, for the land of our birth. Káàgbéga fún àyẹ̀rí, káàgbéga fún ayé láti rí. Let's lift it up for the world to see. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé, our belief is that bí a ti bí ẹrú ni a bí ọmọ. Ibi ojubi. The way a slave is born is the same way a child is born. Ka ṣiṣẹ́, ka jọlá. Tí bá jọ ṣiṣẹ́, tá bá jọ ṣiṣẹ́, a máa jọlá. Let's work together. Let's be wealthy together. Let's work together. Let's break through together. Let's work together. Let's make it together. Ìṣọ̀kan àti òmìnira. Ìṣọ̀kan. Iṣẹ́ ọ̀kan. The act of doing as one. Tí àwọn olóyìnbó ń sọ, tí àwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní unity àti òmìnira. Unity and freedom. Ní kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ní kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lé ipá ẹ̀. That should be our driving force. Tẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fún ọ̀pọ̀ ire. Let's continue in plenty of goodness. Àti ohun tó dára, and everything that is good. Ọmọ Oòduà, ẹ dìde o. Children of Oòduà, let's rise up. Bọ́sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Enter into your right to develop this land. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. You are the light of the black race. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Thank you so much. I wanted to share that with you as we are all joining the sermon at the temple tonight. Please share the broadcasts. Shaibu Philip happens to be one smart dude. From his record. He has been able to work his way through the ladder of the Nigeria corrupt political system. And maybe just like others who believes that if you want to change Nigeria, you should change Nigeria from inside by joining them. Maybe he's one of them, maybe not. Shaibu rose to prominence under Oshiomhole, to the point that he was nominated to deputize Obaseki. His track record has always been like as a student unionist and all of that. From that background, he's managed to rise to the position of a deputy governor, meaning he's always been ambitious. is young, well, maybe not too young, but is young. Obaseki and the rest of them at the time, they were a good pair, people would say. But along the line, Obaseki became more uncomfortable with Shaibu's political sort of moves. In in their second term election, so to say, which is 2020, when their godfather decided to drop both of them for a former PDP governorship candidate in Edo, right? Ise Yamu. Now, to cut the long story short, they were able to be accommodated in PDP at that wee hour of their preparation for elections. And along the line, Edo no be Lagos also worked in their favor. So after the victory, then the real war started between them. Nobody can really say where things goes wrong between them, other than Shaibu want to be governor. Obaseki did not want him to be governor. To Obaseki, Shaibu can only be a deputy governor. He cannot be allowed to handle the affair of Edo State. Therefore, he, Obaseki, will decide his own successor. And that successor will never be Shaibu. But Shaibu, coming from the background of a student unionist, right? And who has grown in ranks to the point that he believes he has built a political capital that could upstage the former banker Obaseki when the real politicking kicks off. In fact, Shaibu was considered to be the real strength behind the Obaseki's audacious effrontery with his godfather, Oshiomole. So I think Shaibu was given more roles. According to record, he was given a free hand in Obaseki's government and to his own political rivals. He abused it. But to Shaibu, well, the man he worked with does not believe in him leading the state. So he would have to decide that for himself. So Obaseki became so uncomfortable enough that he was able to have to get the House of Assembly on his side. And listen, this is not even just PDP lawmakers, so APC lawmakers too, and Labour Party lawmakers too. How that played out, I don't know, okay? But they seem to all agree that Shaibu somehow trampled upon or overstretched the free hand given to him by Obaseki. That he's done so much to upstage him on several occasions. But Shaibu was pretty much like, listen, guys, people can cook up a lot of things about me, okay? The point here is this: Obaseki does not want me to succeed him, and I thought I could do it myself. Unfortunately, the entire establishment of their own establishment in Edo State worked against him until this morning, when the assembly sat and decided to remove him few months before the end of his tenure, 8 years or 2-term tenure as deputy governor in Edo. But according to him, it is not over yet until it is over. I don't know what that means, okay? But take a look. Obaseki immediately replaced Shaibu with a 38-year-old Omobayo Marvelous as the new deputy governor of Edo State. So that is what brought about the rider Shaibu out, Marvelous in. The politics behind all of this, as well as what power can be like. You see, Nigeria is a place where sometimes, right, people will tell you the problem is this old, greedy, selfish politicians. They are the ones who will never allow the young ones with beautiful ideas, brilliant ideas to get into political office. Now, you see this theory or this belief has been going on for years, and a lot of us seems to believe it, ignoring the fact that majority of those in charge of the federating unit of Nigeria, the states, they are young people. I am actually talking about state governors who are like in their 40s, 50s. These guys makes about 70, 80% of those who are running the states, local government areas. When you go into the lawmaking part of the whole thing, right? Most of them are young people. I mean, young people who are supposed to be like me and you, with nice vision. And, you know, although a lot of people believe that the real young people that we see in politics in Nigeria, either state governor, deputy, or any other political positions that these young people are holding in this different part of establishments in Nigeria, majority of them are actual products of the political academy owned by these greedy, selfish old hags. So then the apple does not fall far from the tree. So what that simply means is that you cannot continue to use that theory, the theory of old people, very old and selfish, greedy people are the ones destroying Nigeria. No, they are not. Because when you look at, you know, people do have prospects. They will tell you, look at this governor is young. Look at that governor there is young. These were supposed to be the people running to be president, Abi. If they have done so fantastically well at their own primary assignment of governing a state, because there are states in Nigeria that are bigger than many countries in the world. I'm serious. They are not just bigger in landmass and all that. Economically, they are supposed to be bigger, but they are poor. Leave that out of it, okay? But population and landmass, there are states that are bigger, far bigger in population and landmass than many countries that are real countries all over the world. So you can call all these guys mini presidents, and they are like their own mini Hitlers. Do you understand? It is like recreation of the plutocracy going on at the center in Abuja, recreating that in 37 places, including FCT. 37 places where you have exact madness going on in Abuja, but ridiculously, even more terrible in some of these states. And when it comes to power, it's the same. They invest so much energy, resources, including the resources of their people, in fighting political battle than actually fixing the problems. Young people now, I'm talking about young people, they talk a lot. They have so many brilliant ideas. Obaseki is considered to be one of the most brainy Nigerian governors, but that is just in theory. In practice, go to Edo State right now. They will tell you, oh, he's trying, he's done so well. You know, as Edo State has no this money, no money, that, right? I don't want to go into that. Okay? However, I'm talking about them wasting precious resources on trying to cover up their own criminality by choosing whoever is going to do that for them. Not in the interest of the state, but in their own interest. Young people who are running things, they are product of the establishment, no doubt. But you will think they are young people now, they should have the mind of their own. How can you have the mind of your own when you are corrupt? That's one horrible thing about corruption. Okay? Corruption blackens your heart, blinds you so much that the greed will almost make you like you are not human beings. You get that? Doesn't matter how educated you are or how exposed you are. All those won't really matter. The greed and the layer of power, you know, and all of that is associated with it and all that. So, yeah, I remember actually rooting for these guys, like, you know, man, I like it when you stand up against the establishment, enough that you can now use the resources for the betterment of your people. But now we know better. So now, Edo people, beneath Edo State, welcome your new deputy governor, the ones that is not going to make Obaseki uncomfortable. Let's start from there. Marvelous. So, Shaibu he was pretty much like humiliated so much that if not for the same greed, all right, he should have resigned as a deputy governor at least 8 months ago, a year ago. At a point, Obaseki kicked him out of the government house and transferred him to one ministry that is outside the space of the government house as his new office. Okay? And he was barred from speaking to the press as well. Again, your new deputy governor. So what they did there is to make sure that is denied his pension, okay? And that's probably what will pay him more. They deny me my pension. And now it's just to say he was never deputy governor of Edo State. Of course, you are still going to be referring to him as the impeached. And a lot of people are going to be referring to him as deputy governor, former deputy governor, or impeached deputy governor. But the truth of the matter is that in the face of the law, Shaibu Philip was never deputy governor. Okay, that is argumentative, Abi, or debatable. Here is Shaibu's response after his removal as deputy governor of Edo State.
My good people of Edo State, I thank you all for standing by me under these troubling circumstances as the deputy governor of Edo State. It is with heavy heart, yet a resolute spirit, that I come before you to address the recent events that have unfolded within our dear state. I denounce in strongest terms the illegal impeachment by the Edo State House of Assembly over trumped-up charges. This is not just an attack on me as an individual, but on the very democratic principle that we hold there. It is a dangerous descent into dictatorship and a threat to the foundation of our democracy. Let it be clear that this impeachment was hushed because of my ambition to contest the Edo State 2024 governorship election under the People's Democratic Party, PDP. An ambition that is a legal right to all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a sad reality that in our political landscape, ambition is met with resistance, and those in power seek to silence opposition through illegitimate means. I have dedicated my life to serving the good people of Edo State with integrity and honesty. I have worked tirelessly to improve the life of our citizens. I've upheld the values of democracy and justice, and yet, in return, I am faced with baseless accusations and a blatant disregard for due process and rule of law. The allegations brought against me are nothing more than a smokescreen to conceal the true motive behind this impeachment. It's a flagrant abuse of power and a betrayal of the trust that the people of Edo have placed in their elected officials. We refuse to stay inactive while our democratic institutions manipulate and exploit for personal gain. We will fight this injustice with every ounce of strength in our being for the sake of the people of Edo State and the future of democracy. I call upon all well-meaning citizens of Edo, and indeed all Nigerians who believe in the principle of democracy and justice, to stand with us in this moment of crisis. We cannot allow tyranny and oppression to take roots in our society. We must resist the forces that seek to undermine our freedom and trample upon our rights. To the members of Edo State House of Assembly who have chosen to forsake their oath of office and participate in this charade, I say this: history will judge harshly for your betrayal of the people who elected you to represent their interests. But know this: you do not have the power to silence the voice of justice and truth. I call upon the judiciary and all relevant authorities to intervene and uphold the principles of justice and fairness. Let the truth prevail over lies. Let the rule of law triumph over lawlessness. I am confident that the legal system will vindicate me and expose the sham that has been orchestrated against me. I want to reaffirm my commitment to the people of Edo State, to the values that bind us together as a collective. I will not be deterred or intimidated by those who seek to subvert our democracy. I will continue to fight for the right and freedom of all Edolites, by extension Nigerians that suffer oppression. I will stand firm in my resolve to see justice done. As we stand united in the face of tyranny and oppression, I urge all to remain calm and go about our lawful duties as good citizens and true Democrats. Together we will overcome this dark chapter in our history and emerge stronger and more resolute in our pursuit of freedom and just society. Thank you for the opportunity given me thus far. God bless Edo State and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I remember.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Just in case if all of you they catch emotion, I don't want you to catch feelings. Now, African Wahala just said something there, and I caught that. And that is, Shaibu is crying to you, the Edolites, because they don't remove Shaibu hand from the general pot of soup. And that simply means Shaibu has been removed from the table. And now it is about freedom. It's about justice. It is about rule of law. It's about the Edolites. It's about, so like somebody said, it is totally uninspiring, but you just need to have it on record that that happened. Okay? Nigerian politicians will scream injustice. They will do everything to make you believe that the injustice they have suffered in the hands of their own friends is going to destroy something called democracy. It's going to cause problem. You know, when they suffer injustice in the hands of their friends, when Nigeria happened to them, which they are part and parcel of, right? Then suddenly they will remember they were fighting for you and me. So I don't catch feelings for politicians, okay? But we will give that a follow-up. So as we speak, Obaseki has been handed the best gift he's always wanted. Now, what is now left is to see how to make Ighodalo the next governor of Edo State. And he's been seeking the support and advice of Werewike, in case if you don't know that. If you're from Edo State, you should already know that, Abi. Because, you know, he believes that Werewike is still PDP, and whatever has happened between them, he should forget that. He needs to help him make Ighodalo your next governor. They can discuss other things afterward. And Shaibu won't be in that picture. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Emefiole Godwin Obaseki. That one has won a lottery, okay, politically. While Godwin Emefiole, that one has won another long night or possibly days, even weeks, in the detention of the EFCC. All of them are pretty much members of the entire establishment, okay? And you shouldn't catch any feeling for any of them, right? So I think I have a clip of Emefiole in court today. There is a story you need to hear. Emefiole is in court or is standing trial because Emefiole, with the authorization of Bokwari, Emefiole used the Nigerian Central Bank and turned it into Bokwari's family's piggy bank. Right now, Emefiole seems to have been the last, or let me say, well, you know, when you are trying to catch armed thieves and they all escaped, or let's assume they escaped and one of them was left behind and is the one to now stand there or answer all the questions about other members of the gang. So Emefiole is the poster boy. He is the new Dasuki. So Emefiole is accused of depleting Nigeria Central Bank with other people, looting Nigeria, destroying Nigeria economy, Nigeria Naira, and so many other allegations like that. But there are other people too. But these other people, they seems to be untouchable. Bokwari and his wife, Tunde Sabiu, who happened to be Bokwari's nephew, Abi. Nephew, Abi, niece. Nephew, ni. Bokwari's nephew, who happened to be personal secretary to Bokwari, Tunde Sabiu. And then a few others like that. But something is right there too, right? And that is, when Tifnumbu came in and arrested Emefiole, he also appointed a special investigator to go look for where all the money is so they can take them back, right? A person where they investigate a thief, a supposed thief, he ended up being a thief himself. Obaze is the special investigator. Obaze himself, they had to close the investigation now because Obaze has been accused of collaborating with Gbaja Mole to cover up over 30 billion naira money they discovered. And this is coming from Tunde Sabiu and all that. So this 30 billion is like a pattern to say, just ignore us, remove our name from it. Tell them that our signatures were forged. 30 billion. I'll come back to that. Here is Emefiole in their court today. So that was Emefiole being taken to the EFCC custody as ordered by their court. And that then takes us to this new discovery. One of the reasons, or the main reason why they had to limit the charade, all these things you are watching are FIMO. Are you with me? It is not because they want to jail Emefiole or because they want to recover any money from him. Because if they have to recover money from Emefiole, Emefiole is not the direct person that took all the billions of dollars. Emefiole, as the central bank governor, worked with all kinds of crooks and criminals, political as well as those in the business, your elites, they call them business community. Yeah, business community. They join hands together to rob Nigerians and ensure that you see what you are facing, the economic hardship you are facing today. Majority of those who are parading themselves, or those that Ifnumbu appointed as his economic team, majority of them are those who participated in the fleas, those who participated in the historical looting of Nigeria. Nobody has been held responsible so far. So Emefiole, for example, under Goodluck Egbere Jonathan, Emefiole's job is to make sure that the money is available. The criminals will raise the memo, all right? And Emefiole will have to make the money available. The bullion van that will take the money to the destination of whoever they said they should give the money to. As the central bank governor, Emefiole was also making some money for himself, but it wasn't like just bringing in his vehicle and loading the bag with money and then moving them out of the central bank. No. You see all the nonsense that Kadobi is doing now with all these different monetary policies that you can't really explain. All this voodoo economy. They are shorting your naira and they are making a kill. So what they do is that all this insider trading and ensuring that the banks that will help them launder the money, the bankers that will help them launder all the stolen money, when they finally are matured, they get clearance from the central bank. All those ones that should raise a red flag on all of this suspicious money, billions, hundreds of millions of dollars that were disappearing. Instead of the policy of Emefiole to discover them by raising red flag and flagging them, because they are those who are doing it. So behind the scene, it was a free-for-all. Do you get that now? And all of them who benefited from this, including emirs, including Kabiesi Yorubas, including Obis, including Obas here and there, Sultan and the rest of them. Like it is a racket. So if they really want to get the money back and at the same time punish all those who brought this economic ruin upon Nigerians, this poverty, then you should have more than Emefiole in EFCC jail or EFCC custody. So that's what makes it a drama. So if you're following it, all right, do not think they are doing all of this because they are trying to get any money back, or they are trying to punish people who actually abuse their power or position and robbed Nigerians. No, 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 no. In fact, the effort is also to see how much of that loot they can corner for themselves too. Because it is a corrupt country run by criminals, okay? So the purpose is not to end the crime or punish anybody for it. It is actually to milk it. And that is where the investigator, where they investigated those who looted Nigeria Central Bank, he has now been fingered in a bribery scandal involving Tunde Sabiu, as well as a few members of Bukwari's government, to the tune of 30 billion naira. 30 billion naira. And that's probably a chicken change. Because if you are probing and trying to investigate an economic sabotage that flees the country of over $100 billion, 30 billion naira is a chicken change, but it's a starter. If you dig more, you will see how much of this money they have managed to corner for themselves. At least it won't be the first time that returned loot will be relooted in Nigeria. So they had to end the investigation now. Okay? And we are waiting for the report. And also, I don't even think we should be waiting for the report, because I wanted to say, and we're also waiting for the probe of the investigator that is accused of collecting the bribe. Now, listen to this. So this is just from Tunde Sabiu, 30 billion. And this is coming from the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, FIJ. You remember Shoyombo? That Shoyombo guy. Isayo. Right. It's just published another one. And indeed, even though APC, they are trying to sort of discredit it, because he said $30 billion. I want to believe it's 30 billion naira. And with the explanation and all of that, I also want to believe it's true. And the report of Obaze, is that going to also show to us or indict Bokwari and the rest of the criminals who also depleted the central bank using Emefiole? No, we will find out. Not that I want you to look out for it, but it's just like the pointers to let you know this is just a show. And the moment they believe that it's no longer relevant, they will wrap it up. Like they have suspended their investigation. So you will never see any money returned. And that is why the angle or the narrative of the Binance, as ridiculous as that also sound, is believable to the Agbadorians. A distraction, you will call it, Abi. But majority of them, the establishment in Nigeria, continue to convince the people in Nigeria that Nigeria Naira lost value. You know, it's a combination of other stuff, okay? Nigeria Naira lost value because Nigerians were trading on Binance. And the Binance has been banned in Nigeria. Nigeria no longer do their P2P, peer-to-peer transactions on the Binance. They are using other platforms, okay? But these establishments in Nigeria told themselves that the Nigerian Naira crashed because of the Binance. And that guy I just showed to you right now is the only guy left in their custody. He has been sent to Kuje prison today as well. Yeah, the court said he should be sent to Kuje prison. And he's standing trial on behalf of Binance for tax evasion, $10 billion. That's what these criminals are asking from them. Well, I don't want to bore you with that story. I'm just trying to give you the instances of how all these distractions are working. Let's just keep documenting them until they run out of options. Or options like they run out of who to blame or excuse for you. Now, they are selling the dollars they are getting below the market value in order to continue to look good to you. Now, we are now realizing that the Nigerian Foreign Reserve, which is pretty much already used as a collateral for another loan that nobody can account for, and nobody is being told what they use it for as we speak, right? Somehow, Nigerian Tifnumbu's regime, they have managed to withdraw over $1 billion, guys, in the last 2 weeks alone, to try and defend the Naira, selling the dollars at below the market value of it, okay? And then continue to push the propaganda to say their policy is working. Their monetary, this and that is working. And Nigeria Naira is gaining back its strength. Yet, the food and service in Nigeria, I'm talking about services and food and all that, they are not reducing any prices. And any explanation for that is to tell you that you should give it time. Okay, because it is all voodoo. We call it voodoo economy. Yeah, voodoo economy. Even though people are still trying to figure out which band they belong to or what band you don't belong to. We will get back to that because somebody was mentioning that earlier. Let's go a bit further. One of the news or rumors, and I actually this shouldn't even be anything, okay? But somehow it is, because I saw it. I saw, when you go on Facebook, for example, and somebody will just post a picture and just say, type amen, those mass stuff. And you will see thousands of comments typing amen, 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 amen. Or somebody will say, Showore and Peter Obi, who would you vote for? Social media stuff now, poll. And then you will be seeing all the comments, Obi, 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 Showore, 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 Obi, 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 Obi. Then people will be attacking themselves, which Obi, which Showore, which this, which that. And I think that was how the rumor started, okay? Because I saw that on X, on Twitter, where somebody was doing all this random peering. And they said Peter Obi and El Rufai, that is the Kaduna little finger, the El Rufaya. And now obedient were there. This is skinny con, this is skinny con. And there are those who are like the normal product of APC, PDP, are somehow disguising or hibernating and pretending to be you obedient, okay? So they were there now trying to plant the doubt. That's how they work, okay? It's going to be the greatest idea. Surprisingly, some people even believe that this was the handiwork of Kaduna Littlefinger. Anyone who has his history of a treasury, his history of propaganda, his history of fanaticism and other stuff that you can be have to be very careful around him. He is a dangerous human being. El Rufaya of Kaduna. Okay? And he spends so much money to try to present a different kind of public personality by telling you that, you know what I mean? No, it's just people who don't like me who talks. No, he's actually a very, very horrible person. I'm talking about a vile. You know what they call vile? People that relishes the pains that other people suffer simply because of their religion or tribe. A very vile person. Bloody terror apologist. Is a very, very horrible human being. El Rufaya of Kaduna. And I'm not saying this because I probably don't like him. No. This is a fact. Okay? But however, he has his way around trying to plant himself in the major conversation whenever he is not close to the seat of power. He is a very, very dangerous man among many. However, they were pushing this on social media. I don't know if that's one of the things that got to Showore, that Showore started throwing his own usual tantrum too. Needless snipe that he's been embarking on since yesterday as well. But I'll come back to that. So it was people projecting that El Rufaya and Obi 2027. Like, how ridiculous can people be? Anyway, that shall created some argument everywhere. And it became a thing. This is like a stupid joke. Then it became a thing that Nigeria media were asking Obi. So yesterday I shared with you that Obi was in Gombe, and somebody was like, hey, Omogao is in Gombe to go and commission a borehole. So the borehole is the commission now. Baba, come, let me tell you something. Okay? There is what do you call it? How can I explain this to you? There is a bit of a waiver, okay, for everyone and anyone who have stood up against the current established structure, political governance, and everything that exists in current contraption called Nigeria. Everyone who has stood up, even if what you have stood up for is something that Personally, I do not believe in. But the fact that you are standing up for something enough will give you a pass on MaiyegunSDiary Politico. And I've told you this before. All right? You cannot put the people who have every power to change the story of Nigeria for the better. Even the story of Nigeria that we have, imaginary Nigeria that we always have, only if these people are doing well, only if they can just fix electricity, only if they can just fix this, only if they can just focus on this. You know, those imaginary Nigeria that majority of you have in your head. Now, who are those who have the best chance to make that happen? They are those who have the political power, who have in power in different at different level right now, especially at the center. They are the ones, all right, that could stop the stealing. They are the ones that could stop the spread of this ethnic division, tribal division, religious supremacies and intolerance. But when you look at it very well, rather than stop them or reduce poverty or end poverty genuinely, all of their actions is to further impoverish you and me, destroy your businesses, make terrorists flourish while they blame everyone for why the country is not working. They are those who are stealing your money, depleting your forex and all of that. But they want you to blame other people instead of them. And I won't. If Nigeria is to have electricity 24/7, it will start from those who are making the decision. Not you, not me. If Nigeria is to be a safe country, where everybody has their own rights, like every citizen in any part of the world, those who are in that government have the chance of making that happen. Not me, not you. Yes, if you are to have these responsible policemen who are really doing police job, not protecting criminals, and then destroying or killing innocent citizens, right? That is not you or from me. It is from them. But you know, this whole thing is deliberate. And they want you to blame other people. There are some people who don't want Nigeria to be great. That is coming from the people who are doing everything to destroy Nigeria. Every of their decision. Economically, fairness, equity is not theirs. What you have is impunity, nepotism, turn by turn. So I'm not going to let you come here and blame other people because you don't like them. And feel cool, like, yes, I thought we were supposed to be exposing everything. I'm not asking you not to expose. Expose what is actually really illegal or wrong. But there are some passes here, guys. No passes for criminal act or attitude. If Peter Obi cut the tape for borehole, or he cut the tape where he just changed the bulb of an old woman's front door, it will be a news. If it's going to irritate you, then it's actually doing what I want it to do. Why? We all believe that we have a common enemy, and that is the establishment, the criminals who have the chance, all right, of actually making our lives better, enough that you and I shouldn't have time of hating ourselves or hoping that we will have a civil war to kill ourselves. But those who actually benefit from our division continue to ensure that lasts in any way. So if you if you believe that we deserve better and the entire establishment needs to collapse and go, that means we all have to be in the same part, on the same side. You will not use your energy. You will not use that same mouth. You will not judge everyone that has managed to stand up against this establishment. No matter how you see it, you won't judge them. the same way you will judge those who have the chance of changing your story, but they continue to give you excuses and they continue to make you believe that somebody else is the reason why you are poor. It is somebody else's fault that you cannot be protected in your own land. It must be somebody else's fault, right? That the economy of Nigeria is in the gutters. Not them, but somebody else. Okay? Why you and your family continue to live and exist in that danger. Now, I won't want you to do that. It's unfortunate that Showore is not with us on this. A majority of the Showore supporters are also not with us on this. The arguments, Peter Obi is one of them. We've tried to let you see reasons why, even if you disagree with them, sometimes you are doing the job of APC, the job of PDP, by trying to go after these people who probably should have something similar to you. Yeah, political ideology of Showore is a socialist, Obi is a capitalist, and on like that. The argument that are pretty much like healthy in my own stuff shouldn't bring any sort of disrespect if indeed Showore, our own Showore here, is actually honest with his own advocacy. I'm not questioning that yet. I'm just saying that if the whole gesture is reciprocated, for example, let's say we have a situation whereby Obi and what have you uses his own platform to latch at Showore, rubbish him, and say, well, you that could only get 14,000 of votes in an election and all of that stuff, right? Taking a dig at him like Showore does. I know Showore doesn't see Obi and the obedient as who they are. And that's another disrespect that I believe somehow, for somebody who should have a better understanding of why everybody found themselves on this road, kind of, right? Is the fact that Showore has no single respect for the obedient, and the obedient has no single respect for Showore. I'm not going to say all of you, and I'm not going to generalize too, but the chunk of you from both sides, it seems that there is nothing we do or say that will ever allow all of you to see reason beyond your emotional snowflakes. Okay? But nevertheless, I will continue to be on your sides. Okay? I will continue to encourage all of you that even if you have all this neutral ground where you dig at yourself and you tear yourselves apart, I don't want you to feel comfortable on MaiyegundsDiary Politico doing the same, because you will be doing the job of APC, Egbe for them. It is out of respect. I am not asking you to possibly accept yourselves now. But if you do have a better understanding, and you continue to tell yourselves that you don't have anything in common, then you are making the job of Tinubu and his gang even easier. Me, I have a philosophy in life. They said the way you lay your bed, so you shall lie on it. The reason, I've told you this before. I am not a fan of Obi. Okay? It is not by choice that I chose to continue to help amplify the voice of millions of people who bought into Obi's idea, an idea that is in total contrast with the established political arrangements in Nigeria. And anything that is going to make the establishment really uncomfortable should be something that somebody like myself will give voice to, because it is so important that a massive establishment like that of Nigeria with, allies all over the world, allies whose interest in Nigeria is not that of Nigerians, but their own interests. And as we all know, right, your own interests that should be represented and protected by these rogues have been monetized. They've monetized, supposed, what should be the benefit of Nigerians for having them as, having them as your leaders. But they've monetized it. So if you have anyone who is going to make them remember that this could end and will end soon, the ideal thing is to encourage ourselves, not to tear ourselves apart, okay? And the reason why I always share their story is that sometimes I feel like a lot of you agree with me out of principle or out of respect. But something inside you, there is an impulse inside you that the moment you see Showore on this screen now, you will begin to abuse him as obedient. The moment you see Peter Obi on this your screen right now, you will begin to attack him as a Showore supporter. And I do not really want to condone that. Okay? Because majority of those who actually watches MaiyegundsDiary Politico, they do so quietly. And there are those who read all this, your comment too. I do not want to close comments because I really want this to be engaging. I want this to be involving. I want all of us to actually interact like a community. Argue respectfully. Why is it so hard to tell people to respect themselves when you know you have something in common? Well, a lot of you will say Showore is the instigator. I have seen Showore's outbursts here and there. And honestly speaking, I do not have any inkling or any idea of how to actually ask Showore and say, Baba, is this about your principle? Or should this be about your principle, one? And or it should be about the people yearning for good leadership or direction, where they want to believe that leadership is about compromise for the bigger picture, for the generality, or sorry, for the common good. Is that not what they say? So, Showore, I know you are likely going to be seeing this video at some point, Baba. That's what I will ask you personally. Sure you get. And say sometimes, you know, as leaders, you can say your idea, your belief, your conviction, all right, is what drives you, and possibly this is also what drives those who believe in you. But for the bigger picture, in a sense, because I remember that Showore wasn't really nice to us too, the Yoruba Nation campaigners. You get that? He's really not nice to us. It was pretty much like, if you are not on the same boat with Showore, you are just wasting your time, kind of. And he's not, listen, he's not the only person who holds this belief. But you see, when you are looking at, when you are fighting, or you are up against a formidable sort of an establishment, who ordinarily doesn't really recognize religion, tribe, and all of this is about class. It's only us that are divided by all of these nuances, okay, all of this. So when you are up against an establishment like that of Nigeria, sometimes you can look at the bigger picture, beyond that your personal conviction to some extent, where some little compromise here and there, just for the bigger good. Look at what happened in Senegal. Yeah, Sonko was a force. It was such a big force that when he was sent to jail, he had to tell everybody from his own political party and all of that, and said they should all support another, not really unknown, but relatively unknown personality like that of Bisiriu Faye. There are forces that can come together when people begin to see beyond just you and your ideal and all that. Look at the bigger picture. That's what I see. Enough. That is why I will be very much comfortable with the Biafrans. I will be comfortable with my own brothers, the Yorubas. I will always be comfortable with the Kwararafas, who have made it public that they would love to have their own country too. I will never look down on the Arewas, who have also spoken out and said, if Nigeria want to break, let it break. They will have their own Arewa. I won't look down on you because you are a revolutionary and all that. I won't see impossibility in what you are doing. Because the real bigger picture is that all of you, the socialists, the capitalists, the Catholic, the Muslims, the atheists, everybody would have to actually come together under one bigger umbrella where direction is defined, a purpose is set. And around that time, everybody's sort of hope and aspiration will align freedom is big, is massive. And if you can endure to get it, oh dear, it's so rewarding. Inside it, you can have everything that every one of you wanted. Every one of us. That is the bigger picture. I won't spend my time here to kind of, do you think I don't see all the negative things that could give media vibe from every camp? I do. But whose favor do you think I am doing? Or whose bidding do you think I am doing when I choose or use my platform to amplify all those negative things that APC, Egbekegbe, and the entire establishment, so to say, are paying a fortune to ram down your throats, to make you have something or reason why, when they talk about anything, to say, free yourself from mental slavery, free yourself from this, free yourself from that, you will have something or a reason why you cannot be part of that. No, I cannot be part of that because it's a show, right? I can never be part of anything like that because they are Igbos. I don't trust all this Yoruba and this, you know, they will give you one reason why you cannot be part of it. But are you genuinely interested in that freedom? Or you just believe? And listen, in this contraption called Nigeria, none of us is living without the support of the others. Yeah, we will need all to come together and destroy the establishment that has made it more deadlier to be a Nigerian than to be an Oduduwan or a Yoruba United States of Yoruba land. Yeah, that's the name. I told you. All of you have problems with self-rules, either in Biafra or Yoruba nation. You are, see, this is something, this is this is a topic that should be so engaging. We should be engaging ourselves. You see, we shouldn't be hating on ourselves or calling on our murderers. People who want to kill us anyway, calling on them to come and deal with us while we stay apart. None of us is living without the support of the other. The reason why you are not getting that support today is because the establishment loves us divided. And that is why Nigeria is still Nigeria. Once all of us are united on purpose, right? They won't have this Nigeria anymore. It's going to be a different one. And I promise you, right? It's going to be the one that will kind of align with all these your yearnings. But a lot of you are not seeing the bigger picture. For me, I will continue to say it. I will continue to say it. Sometimes you just have to see bigger picture. You don't, sometimes, you know, it's not because you, listen to this, in this struggle, right? You have to love beyond, you need to love and be loyal beyond that your family and your tribe. You will need to begin to learn how to trust other people. But if you continue to suspect ourselves, that's what they wanted it to be. Continue and see how you have the whole strength to actually get it at them. I do not support their election. I do not, you know what I mean? But I will support an election, which is a referendum. Because somebody like me knows that I may not want to be part of their electoral process or political process because I have seen enough and I know that it is a total waste of time, right? So I won't be part of it. But I also believe that if the table turns, it will have to be some people who will turn the table. The table is not going to turn by itself. Pressure here, pressure there. Disagreeing with the status quo, pushing and pushing here and there. And you are pushing for the independence of the Yoruba nation, the independence of Biafra. Others are pushing their own political, whatever it is, right? So if the table has to turn, some people have to turn the table. And you must also have the culture of understanding that referendum is election, is campaign, where we would still have to engage ourselves, disagree. You will see campaign vehicles. This one is campaigning for Yoruba nation. This one is campaigning for against Yoruba nation. This one is campaigning for Biafra. This one is campaigning against Biafra. You cannot violently threaten those who say no. Okay? You must imbibe the culture of engagement because the majority will carry the day anyway. And it is a serious work to the point that when that table turns and the conversation goes into, do you still want to be part of Nigeria or not? People like us are going to champion, not only champion political parties that are pro-independence, okay? We will champion campaigns. We will raise funds all over the world. We will raise awareness, campaigning for the referendum of Yoruba people from Nigeria. You see, that table before it turns, for these rogues, Yorubas, Igbos, Hausas, Fulanis, Ijos, Nishekiri, all of them, they are all involved in holding the table. It must not turn. They want all of us to die like this. But if you don't see the bigger picture, you are helping them by thinking you have something to say about Obi, or you want to say something about the obedient and all they have done, or you do have something to say about Showore, as well as the revolutionists as well, or you are wasting your energy to continue to undermine Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, or yours is to continue to mock the Yoruba Nation campaigners. Trust me, you are only doing the bidding of the APC, Egbekebe, free of charge. And I won't be part of that. And I won't let you do it here too. Do you get that now? So yeah, he was there where he was also asked about if he was going to be peering the terrorist El Rufaya of Kaduna. I want you to listen to what you had to say to them.
We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. I've been going around the country trying to, in various communities, support areas of need. Today, the 7th of April, I'm here in Gombe, and I came to this market, Pantami market, to be able to help them in area of water supply. That's the one I just mentioned. In area of water, because you could see their business here. You can see all the rams and everything here. You could see them here. Think so, but they don't have water. For you to have such a business, you need water. So that's what we provided. And we're also going to support some individuals that will do remotely and send them some little money to support them, about 100 of them. That will be done and everything. So that's what we are doing. And I decided to come into the market itself to price the ram, which you can see, the smallest, like this one that you're looking here, which is about 8 last year, about 40,000. Is now double the price. The salary is just by the corner. So you could see that it's going to be difficult for everybody, especially families, to celebrate. And this is what we are seeing, that things have doubled, things have tripled. It makes even the poor more difficult to live in our society.
One of the issues that made Nigerians groan now is the issue of electricity tariffs. Over the few days now, Nigerians are also groaning under the increase. What's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction to everything that is happening here is that we should all think it through, see how we can provide remedy, how we can deal with it, especially as it concerns the poor areas. Everywhere in the world is known that those who are living in high-band area pay more, while those in low areas are subsidized. That's the way it works. Thank you.
So reports have it that you are contemplating leaving the Labour Party for another party because of the crisis that are.
No, there's no such thing. I'm for peace.
Yes, but
I like peace.
But let me bother you down.
I believe that we are one. We are one people. Our concentration should be on peace.
Okay,
and I believe we will resolve all situations.
Yeah, we sent some online reports suggesting you appearing with the former Kaduna State Governor. Is there any reaction to it?
Well, I'm more interested now in Nigerians feeding today than about tomorrow. We're always concentrating about the election rather than what Nigerians are going through. My commitment is about Nigerians living in a better society, living a better life. You could see this business without water for years. That's what we should care about. And that's my...
I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
So, to Obi, and obedient, who believes that Obi represent. You see, that's one thing about people now, okay? If you look at Omoyele Sowore, right? Omoyele Sowore as an activist, like African Wahala described him, right? A straight shooter, no holds bar, state as it is, and all that stuff is a very, very good CV for an activist. But for an activist come politician, all right, then you will learn what is called compromise. It doesn't mean that you have to, I'm not saying compromise your principle and all of that too. But if your principle is really strong enough that you can't compromise to work with at least one of those that, I mean, probably the only one. Anyway, one of those who had the chance of enriching themselves having served as an executive of a state like Obi did. One criteria that, see, one CV that you cannot rubbish it in front of the obedient. And I kind of agree with them. Nigeria is a den of thieves. In fact, it is a crime for you to have an opportunity of stealing and not use it. In Nigeria of today, Peter Obi, as well as other politicians that you have parading themselves in Nigeria of today, when you put all of them together, Peter Obi is a saint. And I can say that anywhere. I'm not saying he's a saint like saint, nobody is so. When you begin to compare the public record of all these guys and him, you'll be able to single him out. And this singular thing, among others, right, stood him out among the obedient. So you can't rubbish it. You would have to actually bring a real evidence that he looted public fund when he had the chance like everyone else. You will need to go beyond just speculations and all of that. And that is where even Showore's principles will be put to question. What is exact Showore's conviction? That Peter Obi is like them. What exactly is conviction? Oh, he's a capitalist who is taking advantage of the system as a businessman, not illegally. He's not doing anything illegal. I mean, like, you know, if he was, they had all the chance of actually using that against him. Even Showore himself will be the first to publish such. So it goes beyond what you call principle sometimes, when your principle or the reason for your action sometimes is not really backed by facts. You get what I mean? Like if you want to say, oh, somebody stole this or did that or used this position to enrich this one like Norma, or he used this position, okay, to also enrich his personal business that he kind of gained personally. You know, all these things can, then they will tell you, oh, he invested Anambra State money in a business that he also has interest. Or he invested Anambra State money in banks that he has interest. Okay. Now, you see these two, normal for conflict of interest, right? I can tell you it's illegal. But even at that, you were told, okay, if you are in private sector and you are going into public sector and you left your hand and all that, right? Well, here is something, which is actually the main thing, okay? Nigerian government never really tried in for carrying out an illegal sort of like that, okay? No record of that. Because there is no record that Anambra State lost money under him. That's another thing. He ended up being one of, one of those of his kind at the time who not only paid up, like, you know, it's actually something they celebrate in Nigeria, okay? So it's not just only that he revived the education sector, set a new generation of young Anambrans, right, on the path of self-growth using education, okay? He did so well that he became one of his symbol. This guy was in charge of a state for 8 years. He borrowed no single dime, like he left no single debt. Rather, he left surplus. It's still on record. A guy, right, who invested the state's money, and when the money matured, his successor decided to go and build the airports. So people actually hated him for not being corrupt enough and using that, or not being corrupt and using that as a flex in a country that is filled with corrupt people, where people actually love their corrupt criminals. So if Showore's, with Showore's exposure, if this is not something that is more than just, if with Showore's exposure and understanding, right, and he says he can't compromise his belief because Obi is like them, that's not being honest. From my own perspective. Same thing with Kuti. They enjoy taking Snyder in. And I don't think it's actually Obi. It is the influence he controls. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And instead of us to leverage on that, especially those of them who are saying they want to do Nigeria better, it is something else. Again, as a leader with understanding, somebody who wants to lead the country, I think there will be a time that you kind of have to see and be honest with yourself. All right? That even if you don't like all of them as elite, but in this regard, like Sonko and Faye, there will always be a time for the common good and the bigger picture. Because who says something can't happen? Take a list. This is me now trying to, sort of make up a scenario, okay? For example, take a look at Senegal, all right? There was a man so big, so huge, that it was the main opposition to the sitting president of Senegal in 2019. Sonko was the main opposition, all right? Until he was accused by the sitting president of Senegal, accused him of making a deal with Putin in Russia. And he reported that as the reason why he had to be arrested and disqualified from the election and all of that stuff. That he was going to receive some money that he has pledged to give Senegal to Russia by taking it away from France. Sonko was that big and that huge, to the point that people were like, okay, since Macky Sall has won a second term, they will wait for the next election in 2024 and they will vote for Sonko. But Macky Sall was not done. He did everything to make sure that Sonko's political mileage continued to so political structure were destroyed, incapacitated to win election. But he was wrong. And a totally unexpected, supposedly not as powerful individual that they least expect. 10 days before election, he was released from prison. And now he's the president of Senegal. Sonko is now the prime minister of Senegal. Can't people see bigger picture sometimes? Now they have the power to tell France to F off. They are no longer opposition. They are no longer critics. They are no longer people with big English anymore. They are now in charge of Senegal. And they can tell France to F off. I don't know if I have to say more anyway, so I'll leave it at that. This is how passionate this is to me, right? Because I believe that where people have discovered what is wrong, sometimes you have to shift ground. You have to compromise here and there. I am not saying you should decide to go and join criminals because no, that's not what I mean. Obi is not a criminal. That Showore should be, or the Showore's supporters should be taking a snide at. I'm serious. Some of you are totally unchangeable. Or maybe you can think about it. Okay? And to you, the obedient, I know you are all reacting to somebody who just chose to provoke you. Not with fact or anything, but for God knows what. I will continue to remind all of us that you have a chance and you can actually change a lot. I mean, we can change a lot from all our choosing path. Somehow, have you not noticed? Our path keeps crisscrossing one another. how many times or how else did you really think we should explain to you that we need ourselves? And the more we remain apart, the more the criminals continue to leverage. Again, let's continue. Away from the obedient. I dare the people of Taraba. The man called Wadum became prominent when the Benue State governor at the time, Autumn, helped us sort of raise the alarm, so to say, that the notorious terrorists terrorizing the people of Taraba, the people of Adamawa, the people of Benue, kidnapping them for ransoms, a notorious, they call him, but he is actually a member of APC, Egbekegbe, but he was like an MC Oluomo of Taraba. So when the business of politicking was no longer profitable, or he was left and they were not, referring back to him, right? I was using him. He decided to go into kidnapping. And his own boss, the people that bought him the guns and weapons that for political stuff, decided to now sacrifice him. Wadum was arrested in 2019, or he surrendered. And the court in Nigeria then sentenced him to 5 years imprisonment for kidnapping, for ransom. Okay, this was 5 years ago.
Ni Hamisu Bala, wanda yake da inkiya Wadumi. 'Yan sanda suka zo ibi suka kama ni, da suka kama ni suna tafiya da ni, sai soja suka bi su suka bude wuta har wayansu 'yan sanda suka rasa rayukansu. Da nan suka ɗauko ni suka kawo ni headquarters su na soja, suka yanke mun anko ɗin da yake hannuna na gudu. Tun da na gudu ina cikin buya, sai yanzu 'yan sanda suka sake kama ni.
Wadum. 5 years after that, see how Wadum entered Taraba, Jalingo. So that was the grand entry of the supposed notorious kidnapper back to his people. Evans, the kidnapper, is not that lucky. You get her? Evans is not that lucky because Evans got 20 years in jail for kidnapping. And there is no sign that is probably going to be out until 2035 or something. When is Evans going to come out again? Don't answer that. It doesn't really matter. Okay? Sorry, my audio is now sort of probably too loud. Anyway, let's continue. Guys, there is this clip now that a lot of you are here. I played it from the start of this broadcast, and I'm going to play it again. It is an individual who said it is the best day, like an historic day in his life, where a day he's been looking forward to, and will be given a chance and a podium to really speak directly to the Omo Oduduwas worldwide. Now let's go back to it. He was there interpreting what Yoruba anthem means, and the message is directly to you, Omo Oduduwa. If you can hear, pay attention now, okay? Grand.
And I will tell you that with this that I'm doing now, it was a dream for me, and now I'm making it come true. I will thank for the invitation to Dr. Sumi Smart. Thank you for this opportunity. Gómìnà wa. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ farabalẹ̀. Gómìnà wa ń bí farabalẹ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Bàbá wa, ọ̀gá wa, olórí wa. Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa orin ìpínlẹ̀ wa, ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ká ní òye sí nípa àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà ńbẹ̀. Ó sọ pé iṣẹ́ wà fún ilẹ̀ wa. Iṣẹ́, work. Iṣẹ́, responsibility. Iṣẹ́, duty. Fún ilẹ̀ wa, for our land, for our soil. Our responsibility for our land. Our duty for our soil. Fún ilẹ̀ ìbí wa, for the land of our birth. Káàgbéga fún àyẹ̀rí. Káàgbéga fún ayé láti rí. Let's lift it up for the world to see. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé, our belief is that bí a ti bí ẹrú ni a bí ọmọ. Ìbí ojú bí. The way a slave is born is the same way a child is born. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Tí bá jọ ṣiṣẹ́, tá bá jọ ṣiṣẹ́, a máa jọlá. Let's work together. Let's be wealthy together. Let's work together. Let's break through together. Let's work together. Let's make it together. Ìṣọ̀kan àti òmìnira. Ìṣọ̀kan. Iṣẹ́ ọ̀kan. The act of doing as one. Tí àwọn olóyìnbó ń sọ, tí àwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní unity àti òmìnira. Unity and freedom. Ní kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ní kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lé ipá ẹ̀. That should be our driving force. Tẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fún ọ̀pọ̀ ire. Let's continue in plenty of goodness. Àti ohun tó dára, and everything that is good. Ọmọ Oòduà, ẹ dìde o. Children of Oduduwa, let's rise up. Osipo etore, enter into your right to develop this land. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. You are the light of the black race. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Yes. And of course, is probably a Yoruba from Brazil, Cuba, and all of these distant lands. Sorry, I don't know why my microphone is doing that, but pardon me. Okay. I don't know if it's because it's closer to my mouth now, right? But it is impressive, isn't it? Where you are reminded, like it was meant to be something that you know, a lot of us actually understood the wordings. Not many does. But as a Yoruba people, as a people, we are not xenophobic. We are people who are traditionally community people. We are a people that, for those of us who grew up in the communities, like, you know, in smaller towns and villages like that, we see how we care for one another. And you can see how people care for one another, even in the midst of not having plenty. How they care for the sick, how they care for the poor, how they help themselves in their own little way to keep growing a community of Yoruba people. That's who we are. We do not have any class system in Yoruba land, because we believe as Yorubas that childbirth, or so to say, that nobody, see, everyone is born the same way. Whether you come out and you end up, or you are a slave, or the son of the soil, like, you know, freeborn. Yorubas believe that we are all equal. There is no classism in Yoruba land until the criminal politicians have now decided to bring in classism. They are trying to force that on us now. Trying to make you or tear families apart, all for politics, where your Yorubaness is now being put to question by some Omoirokirons who have somehow found their ways to political power, and they could then use that to redefine Yorubas. You shouldn't let that. Call your children. This is the song. It's beautiful, isn't it? Thank you for that, dear brother from another mother. That's how it is. As a Yoruba man, when you get to see your descendants in another skin from faraway land, who have somehow retraced his way and all that back to the same source, our source as Yoruba people. I think it's kind of like it eats differently, you know. hits differently in the sense that it kind of will get you thinking. And every word will begin to have meaning to you. I know some of you seated there now, some of the words are now kind of coming back to you and they are now making it to you. Because somebody took it upon himself, learned the Yoruba language enough that he could read it and, well, communicate. And then you begin to feel like, we are supposed to be a great country, sure. And Nigeria just do us this bad. You know, that kind of feeling, right? And that is why we must continue to remind ourselves of who we are. It is very important that we do that, at least for the sake of our own children. We owe them that. We do. So invest your time in bringing this Yoruba-ness, Yoruba history. Let them feel proud. Whether your mama na Igbo, papa na Yoruba, your mama na Yoruba, your papa na Igbo, or your papa na... It doesn't really matter now, because as Yorubas, they never really matter. They never. There is one unique thing about us. For those who genuinely, the Omoluabis, the Yoruba Omoluabis, not political jobbers, chancers, who has 24 years and 24 to 25 years opportunity of making the lives of an average Yorubas better. They've made it worse. The Omuale Yorubas, because you can say that easily. We have been led by Omuale Yorubas in the last 24 years of this fraudulent democracy in Nigeria. Our people have suffered enough. Poorer. There is no promotion of wealth or redistribution of that same wealth. It is the poverty that we have in common with the rest of Nigeria as the victims of the misgoverned misgoverned country and poor governance or bad governance. There is something in us, unique and big, huge. Don't let them replace that with this hatred that they are trying to force down your throat so that they can continue to make you believe that you're not good enough to be your own country. If your fellow Yorubas, because of what they are enjoying from Nigeria, the crumbs that they are enjoying from Nigeria tells you Yorubas don't need independence, Yorubas don't need this or that, because of the crumbs they are getting from that place. We need to keep reminding ourselves of who we are until we indeed break ourselves away from this contraption. Okay? So I thought that's something that will get you thinking and begin to question everything you've been told about this place. Yeah, you would have to question everything you've been told. This is how. So today we got the delivery of a fatherless people, and I've started reading that. A fatherless people by Dele Ogun. And I've also been told that somehow this has been reproduced into a video, like documentary, like on Netflix. Honestly speaking, if I found it indeed, or you can look it up too, a fatherless people, the secret story of how the Nigerians missed the road to the promised land. We are about to start reading it from tomorrow. I'm also aware, I missed the delivery today, why we struck. The first military coup in Nigeria, and those who are indeed the plotter of the coup. Was he actually Igbo coup? Or the same writers of the Nigeria history, the murderers, genocidists who wrote Nigeria history, did they put that in the history and put that in your head? We will find out. And that is going to be starting from tomorrow as well, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, I have had a bit of an enough chat now, okay? I have few things to add to this conversation, but I'm just going to pass them on. And we are going to call it a night. I want you to please prepare for that tomorrow, and it's going to start from the 12 noon in the afternoon. Anytime from 12 noon, that reading will start and continue. The fatherless people. for spending your evening with me tonight. I want to say thank you. And remember, if you haven't really shared this broadcast, please do, right? Because you may never have to do it. I mean, you may not be able to do that again until next time. Thanks to every one of you. I will see you tomorrow. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.